Call the April 9th business meeting of the Borough Council to order. Let's stand for the pledge of allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Provenza,
Present.
Mr. Floda, here, Dr. Carpenter,
Present.
Mr. Long,
Here.
Mr. Jamelis,
Present.
Ms. Reddick Showalter,
Present.
President Suchovich,
Here.
Mayor Recupero,
Present.
Mr. Pitch,
Here.
Chair Alexander is present and Manager Woodford is absent.
Just for the record, she's. We don't have any public registered comments from the public. So we'll go to comments from the public at this time. Council will hear comments on public related items. Please approach the podium or raise your virtual hand. Clearly state your name, address, limit your comment to 3 minutes. No,
Let the record reflect that there is none.
let the record reflect that there is none. Thank you. We're gonna go to, we have nothing on comments from advisory boards and commissions. We'll go to reports for the council people. At this time, I have nothing. Mayor?
There are just 2 action items that the borough manager put on for voting on. That's all I have at this time.
Very good, thank you. I don't think Stephanie's on. So under hers, maybe Mr. Pitch can talk about the garbage contract real quick.
Yeah, just an update. We have it advertised. We have it out to 4 different haulers right now. The bids are gonna open April 23rd, and we will have a recommendation for the workshop on the 30th.
Very good, thank you. I don't know anything about the floor cleaning, other than that we made a motion to do it. So I don't know what she was gonna talk about there. So we're gonna have to put that off till, I guess, the workshop. April workshop, what's that?
I think she might have just been down as debate on that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I could be wrong.
But I didn't think to ask her today. The April workshop meeting, I think she was just gonna say that we changed that to the 30th, correct? Because of election day. I'm assuming that's what she was gonna do. And the LGA intern update, I have no clue. I know she went to a couple of the intern meetings to try to pick one. I think she had whittled down to 1 or 2 people. Unless somebody knows anything different, we're gonna have to wait to hear from her.
Before you go on, Ray, can I go back to the garbage contract for a
Sure.
second? So are you saying, when's the due date for the bids to be in?
The 23rd.
And that's the same day that you're going to open them?
Yeah, they're due at noon. We open them at 12:01
Where?
here.
Here?
Yep.
Okay. Anyone can come here for that?
Yep.
And then when will we discuss it at the workshop or discuss it when they're open, or what will we? How would, I forget how that process goes.
I'll review them to make sure that there's no math errors,
Mhm.
and then I'll have a recommendation on for the 30th.
So we would probably not really actually be voting on it until the business meeting in May.
Hopefully we bid on it on the 30th.
I would say the vote on it on the 30th.
Oh, okay. That's what I wanted to clarify. All right,
Is that it?
thanks.
Yep. Finance?
You guys all have your packets, that has a bank statement. So you can start adding in. You can see from last month, this time we had $1,768,692.57. And this year, at this time, we have $1,981,307.52. The difference is $212, $212,614.95. Difference year to date. So, everybody got a list of the bills, and that we'll talk about that, and there will be a motion for that later.
So, question on the fire truck cap. Do we know why that increased? Was that
Probably interest.
interest?
I would say interest.
We were down to the last couple payments, we'll be talking about that.
This fire truck cap is not the payment on the truck. This is a fund they started a bunch of years ago. To put money away. To buy, put money away for the next truck that they needed. Then when they decided to buy it and took the bonds out or whatever they did through the banks, this fund was just there. They decided to keep it because once the fire trucks paid off, there was talk about putting so much in there to build some up for the next time we need a new van.
Payments, I think we paid off the end of this year.
I think this is the last, I think this coming up would be the last, payment, I believe so.
This is. I don't know.
That's
that-
just money they put in a fund, started with a certain amount of money, and that's just the interest that it's accrued.
Cause it sat in that account for many years and never changed. And now all of a sudden it's going up, I don't know. If it was put into a different type of account,
I can't answer that.
where are we doing with it now?
It sits in this account.
But why?
I just told you why.
I know, but we're not using it for that purpose anymore.
For the future, they just left the account open for the future. If they want to put money away, there's an account already open.
It's already accrued interest, why not leave it? Do come down and be the fire truck, we won't get it.
Or if there's emergency repairs or something that needs done.
Yeah,
I don't know, one of these other funds, I think maybe the capital fund is including even more interest. We could add it to that, I don't know.
Yeah, but the capital fund, the capital fund that we have running is for the fire, it's only for roads. That capital fund right there, that $203,863.
For any project that's greater than 5 years and costs more than $5,000.
That's what we set it up. When we set up the capital. That's what happened last year. When we decided to put the $200,000 in, it was
Remember, it should be specifically only for
specifically for paving.
for any capital project.
so that's all I have on it. Vince, Tim,
Yeah, that's all.
that's all you have on finance?
Yeah.
Thank you. Code enforcement report. It's here. It shows, it's all listed here what he has done this month. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 notice of violations. You all see that, right? Police chief report.
Yeah. Claims received 69, total crimes reported 20. Total crimes cleared 18. Persons arrested 9, crime code summary issued 4, vehicle code summary issued 18. Borough code issued 6, borough parking tickets 8. Magistrate fines collected $591.94. Borough fines and fees collected $60. Police reports purchased $30. Amusement device permits $4,800. Municipal fines $2.75. And total fines and fees collected $5,484.69. Parking permit fees $1,338. And that's the report.
Thank you, Mayor. Fire chief's report. DNT.
Good evening, Councilman.
Good evening.
The fire department answered a total of 11 calls for the month of March. Starting 3-1, natural gas odor at 801 7th Street in Penn Hill. 312, smoke investigation 8909 Eastwood Road in Penn Hills, which is a burn barrel. 313, natural gas leak 456 Selden Avenue in Verona. Gas company is working on the line. 316, good intent call at 2nd Street at South Avenue in Verona. Propane patio fire mistaken for a house fire. 323, residential fire alarm, 452 Ridge Avenue, false alarm. 324, commercial fire alarm, 1 Deanmore Drive in Verona, false alarm. 325, residential fire alarm, 245 Crescent Pines Drive in Penn Hills, false alarm. 325, oven fire at 707 Delaware Avenue in Oakmont. 329, EMS at 464 South Avenue in Verona, for patient lift assist. 330, commercial fire alarm, 5785 Salzburg Road in Penn Hills, false alarm. And on 330, rescue EMS assist at 763 Allegheny River Boulevard in Verona, for a patient that fell in the road.
Anybody have anything for Dan? Thanks, Dan. EMS report. Treated and transported ALS 17, treated and transported BLS 7. Fire standby, there was 4. Refusal, there was 3. Lift assist, there was 2. Canceled, there was 2. And mutual aid, there was 4. No transport other, it was 4. For now, total of 43 calls for EMS. Solicitor's report, Mr. Alexander.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I'd like to announce that we held, or rather the board held, a brief executive session on March 26th, immediately following the workshop meeting, in order to discuss legal and personnel issues. With regard to the solicitor report, I did provide that in writing, and it was placed in the board packets by Teresa, and I have nothing further to add at this point.
Thank you. Does anybody have anything for Mr. Alexander? Very good. Moving on to the engineer's report, Mr. Pitch.
Thank you, Mr. President. I had submitted my written report. We're just in the process of finalizing a few grants and getting a couple of the grants ready for advertising. The one item on the agenda is the ARB storm sewer cleaning. It's under new business item E. We received 2 quotes back, and to explain them, they were for the same service, but each company quoted them a little different. State Pipe quoted for a 10-hour day, where Robinson quoted for an 8-hour day. So comparing them cost wise, Robinson Pipe was $425 an hour, or State Pipe was $295. Robinson wanted to charge $200 a ton versus State Pipe's $150 a ton for removal of the material. And Robinson's traffic control was $1,800 a day versus State Pipe's $1,250 a day. I did receive another quote, but it was substantially higher. So under new business item E, I would recommend that we contract with State Pipe Services. And this is for the inlets along ARB that flooded a week ago there. They flooded it once last year. We did some cleaning of it, but it was apparent that it needed much heavier equipment to fully clean them. So that's what this proposed work is.
I know some boroughs been fighting that with the state, there's state roads out there also, for cleaning them.
Yeah, I've always asked the question since the time I began, and basically the simplified response that I've gotten from the state is they're responsible the depth of the roadway. So once it's in the pipe and whatever happens with the pipe, they push that back on the municipality.
So this is storm,
Correct.
so you can't use the money from the city.
No.
Anything else for Mr. Pitch?
Yeah, I got a question about the park department regulations for Fairfield.
Yes.
We do know that we have to install a hand sink and a 3-bowl sink. But could you just explain so everybody knows what the additional comments were?
Yeah, so we have to install a separate hand sink in the concession area. The 2-bowl has to be updated to a 3-bowl, and we have to put in a small grease trap. But that they make grease traps that are in a like a plastic box that can go under the sink and won't have to tear up the floor to do
You can
so.
remove it.
There's a few other minor things. One of the new regulations is the entrance to the restroom has to be within a certain amount of feet. But we can get a waiver for that. And the one that's really been lingering that Stephanie and I are working on, they want us to obtain a letter from the Department of Revenue that verifies that we don't have to charge sales tax on concession items. So that one's been taken, because we initially sent our tax exempt form and they kicked it back and said, well, no, that's you not paying tax. We need to know that we don't have to charge tax. And we said, it's a concession stand. Like, like what baseball team, soccer team, anywhere charges tax on nachos, but
Yeah,
that's one of the requirements that they're making us provide.
food is usually untaxed. Anyway.
So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that had come about like last September-ish, and then throughout the winter there, it kind of took a back burner to some stuff, but Stephanie and I are working on that.
I just remember Stephanie saying they wanted like separate entries to the bathroom and.
That's what
wanted me
the-
to explain so everybody in the public knows.
That's partially what that waiver is. I just have to print out one of our drawings and kind of sketch what the distance is and write a letter as to why the concession doesn't have a direct access to the bathroom.
Okay, thank you.
Are we planning to get the sinks replaced and try to grease trap in, you know?
Yes, that's the intent. That way, then the facility will be up to date. We'll be able to do pretty much anything there, including using the grill on outside to cook. That was one of the other comments. I had showed them the flat top grill we had, and they asked how we were gonna cover it. So we might just have to get like a cheap charbroil that just has a lid on it, because I guess birds can poop on the grill.
Inside?
Well, we told them when we grilled, we put the grill
Oh,
in the grass, but I'm like, I think it's kind of common sense that in the rare occurrence that would happen,
Well, food away.
you don't serve it. You know,
Yeah,
so yeah, we're working on that.
thank you.
Well, what's the time frame for putting the new stuff in? You know? Any idea?
I'll talk with AJ. I was thinking that most of it can probably be done in-house. If not, we might just need a plumber to tie some of the water lines in, so I have a couple that we could get a hold of. It's just a matter of getting that notice from the Department of Revenue.
But do we need a notice from the Department of Revenue in order to replace the sinks?
No, we can get started on that. It's just we won't have the permit until we have that information.
Sure, I'm just trying to get at, if we could get this done, and I don't know that it's even you that's responsible for this, I'm just asking. If we could get it done sooner rather than later, then people can start using the concession stand more for what it was set up to do.
Yeah, I'll talk with AJ. The appliances that need to be ordered, you can order them from like Restaurant Depot. So I'll talk with AJ and Stephanie, see if we can't get those on order. I'll talk with him about the 3 bowl to the 2 bowl should be no problem, just unscrew the water lines. I'll ask him if he feels comfortable doing the hand sink or not. If not, I'll get a hold of a plumber to do it.
And Nancy, you can technically right now use the concession stand for what it was used for. You just cannot prepare food on site. You prepare it off site and bring it on site.
Yeah, but I think that people were thinking that they would be able to prepare food on site, and I understand.
Eventually, they're gonna be able to.
Yeah, exactly, but I'm just trying to determine for myself and for the rest of the people, the public, to know when that might be, just approximate ballpark.
Well, I just want to make it clear that like it still can be used for like catering purposes. If you get a caterer event, then that's perfectly fine. Because it's all the food is prepared off site and brought on site. You're fine.
Correct, and even like a graduation party or something, it's a private party. This more pertains to like public events. Even if you're not charging for the food, you can't have, like, right now, you're not technically allowed like a crock pot there. Because there's not a 3 bowl sink to wash and catch the grease. But if it's like a graduation party or something like that, that it's a private event, you can still do that. and you have access to the concession. You just can't sell, or it can't be like advertised as a community event that gives the food out.
So you can use it as a private event.
Correct.
Okay. Thanks for that clarification.
No problem.
Is that it, Matt?
Yep, that's all.
Very good, thank you. Council members' remarks. We'll go with, Ms. Red Showalter.
Hi, can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Okay, great.
I do have a couple questions for Matt, but it kind of ties in with my update. So I just wanted to share, I'm very excited. You're all aware I was selected to participate in, it's called the Champions Institute. It's a third year running. And it's a nationwide group of us who get together and we discuss active transportation. So as part of that, I had a project I worked on, which was related to the paving that was done on Sylvan Way at RCC. So one of my questions for Matt is the ramps, the ADA accessible ramps that we added on Sylvan Way look so great. Thank you. I just wanted to follow up to see if we had a timeline yet for the corresponding crosswalk markings that are to be added along there as well.
So those are gonna be added by DPW, so I'll talk with AJ. I think he has all the paint. It was just a weather thing.
That's awesome. Thank you. Sidebar to that, Matt, RCC asked me just to check in with you about their permit for their playground, just to make sure nothing was missing. Everything is moving along there.
They got it this week and I talked to the director. They're good to go.
Yay, awesome. Okay. Follow up, Matt, I apologize, I don't have your report in front of me here at home, but very excited about the multimodal award. A couple questions about that. I was wondering if we've received a multimodal award in the past and how this one kind of ranks in terms of size, because I think I think it's great. I think we should toot our own horn and your horn a bit with this award.
Yeah, we did receive, with my tenure here, we received one other one. That was what paid for all the work along First Street. That grant, if I remember, was in about the $300,000 range. So this one's right up there with that one as well.
That's awesome. I had also asked Stephanie to ask you, I don't know if she got a chance though, if you could forward the multimodal grant application to all of us, specifically which sidewalks were identified. I was in a meeting with BOP last week and they just wanted to make sure they weren't doing double duty if any of the sidewalks corresponded with Center Ave in particular.
Okay. Yeah, I'll off the top of my head, we come down Center Avenue, so I will double check what's all part of it and I'll send that out to everyone.
That's super. Just a note for everyone, I did send an email to Stephanie and to Vince. They wanted me to check in with you two in particular, but all of council as a whole, just regarding what would be the appropriate next steps to make sure that our concerns are addressed. I imagine that might be having them at a future workshop, but we'll, connect further when Stephanie's returned and feeling well and figure that out collectively. I just wanted to make sure I passed that along to all of you. We have a note later. There is a public meeting for VOT this Thursday, the next one. It's a community-wide meeting and it will be held at the Plum Municipal Building. The last thing I had, again, I apologize to backtrack to you, Matt, but I'm just foggy where we left off with the mural, what the next action item was in terms of that. And then I swear that's all I have for tonight.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up and forgot. So I did have a chance to go look at the mural. The wall itself where the mural is not as in bad a shape as I remember. It's mostly the walls around it. So I have a call into a contractor to try to meet him there this week. I think we can probably have the repairs done much quicker than anticipated and a lot cheaper. The walls around it will have to be addressed eventually. With the mural itself, there's only a couple deeper cracks. And then obviously like a heavy cleaning to get it down to a clean surface to be painted again. But surprisingly for where the mural is going to be painted, it's in much better shape than what I thought it was. Yeah.
That's really good news. Yeah, keep us posted. I know you will. Thank you.
Anything else, Trish?
No, I promise that was it. Thank you.
Very good, thank you. Thanks for the info. Next up would be Mr. Floda.
Skipping his name.
Oh, I'm sorry, you know what, I'm sorry. Next up's Dr. Carpenter, I'm sorry.
Sure, Ray.
My glasses are dirty.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to recap that we had the public safety meeting last Wednesday, April 3rd. And we had Terry and Zaldi from Lower Valley Ambulance, Sergeant Francos from the police force, and Dan Teehee from the fire department, as well as the mayor, and Jessica Barone from the community group facilitated the meeting. And a lot of good questions were asked and answered. There was approximately 25 to 30 people who attended from the community. And it was a very nice meeting. A lot of ideas got exchanged and questions were answered. So I don't know, Mayor, unless you wanted to add to the summary and recap of that meeting.
No, it was the meeting went very smooth for, both sides. I'm glad that, it was done. And like I said, I'd like to see another one done in, probably like October. Just to update, people for the upcoming winter. Any concerns, any problems?
I think the people in attendance were glad to be there and appreciated
Most definitely,
the access to the police, the fire, and the ambulance service people.
yeah.
Yes, also wanted to mention that, I was at ALOM, the meeting last weekend. I had to leave a little early, but, it was just chock full with information. I have been out of town going somewhere else after that, so I haven't had a chance to look through my notes and, coalesce, some of the information that I gathered, so I hope to do that for the next meeting. But it was a very good gathering there in Seven Springs. My next meeting will be, Tuesday, April 16th at 5:30. And that'll be advertised and open to the public, and it'll be here as well as on Zoom. That's all I have. Thank you.
I just want to mention, Nancy, when you said we had a meeting, that was the Verona Community Group that set that up, not council.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I just want, just
Right, it was organized by the community group, I think, and the mayor together, maybe, yeah. And it was a public safety meeting, right, I'm sorry.
no, just.
Got it.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Thank you. Next up, Mr. Floda.
Hi, we had our first Parks and Properties Committee meeting yesterday. And we worked on goals and visions of the committee. We also discussed updating the fee schedule for parks, properties, and rental inspections, housing inspections, etc. We also briefly discussed the cribs lighting agreement between the borough and RAA. Some of the goals and visions of the committee are working in unison with Parks and Recreation Board, and also work as a liaison between the Parks and Rec Board and Council. And also to seek grant opportunities for demolition related properties. Those are just some of the items we discussed yesterday, and I'm sure we'll be adding more goals and visions to that as the year progresses. Immediately following that, we had a Parks and Recreation Board meeting. We discussed pretty much the same things in that meeting. We also voted unanimously to approve another alternate Parks and Rec Board member. That's not on the agenda for tonight because it happened last night at 7:30. So we could put it on the agenda for tonight, but it will be on the agenda for the workshop. So just to keep everybody posted, we will be asking council for a vote on adding a another alternate to Parks and Rec. I did have a question for Greg about that. I know when we appoint board members, they have terms. Do alternates need terms, or do they just stay in like a holding pattern until they're actually appointed to?
I believe alternates have terms as well.
Okay, so we could just make a generic, like 5-year term.
It would say in the borough code what the term is. For rec board members, it's actually a window, I believe, so it would either be in your rules and regulations, but I'll confirm in the borough code what the exact term is.
Okay. Maybe just get back to me for the workshop meeting, and then we'll appoint under those conditions.
Is that it?
That's all I have.
Very good, thank you. Next up is Mr. Long.
Yes, we will be having our first committee meeting next Monday, April 15th, where we will discuss first quarter budget. And we will be discussing the multi-modal grant.
Very good. Thank you. Next up would be Mr. Jamelis.
Thank you, Mr. President. I just wanted to update everybody on the our situation with hiring police. It's moving right along. Mr. Mayor, if you want to elaborate a little bit on that, we're currently in the process of testing our applicants. So we're moving right along in that process. So looking good so far.
Good.
We're just wanted to keep everybody updated on that. So we're really happy about that.
Yeah, basically what you said, I don't have anything more to add. I appreciate all the work you guys are doing.
But other than that, our personnel committee meeting will be on the 17th at 6 p.m. We will be discussing more issues regarding personnel, borough personnel policies. And that will be open to the public. And invite anyone who wants to come in and join us and have a nice discussion. That's it.
Very good, thank you.
Question, John, do you have any ballpark idea when we might be actually hiring somebody, and we might get to that point? Like the end of April and May? Middle May?
Yeah.
I had spoken to Mrs. Sheridan. She's head of the civil service. She's in the process of contacting all 3 candidates. The tests are in, and she will determine, she's gonna be moving on it as quick as possible.
Okay. So maybe a month from now, we might have some,
I would hopefully less than that. We'll see.
okay. Just wanted to get a ballpark, thank you.
Very good, thank you. Next up, Mrs. Provenza.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you.
Surely. I, along with Vince and Tim, are going to have a community relations meeting on April 15th at 6 p.m. And then we'll report back after that meeting. Thank you.
That's it. Very good, thank you. Reports on special committees, A-Law, Mrs. Provenza again.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. I spoke with ALOM, and they said they had a very nice, very successful conference, educational conference up at Seven Springs. And they sent many thanks to the Verona Borough for being representative there. And we're real pleased that we had people there. And I will have other reports next meeting on different functions coming up. I thank you.
Along with them lines, I picked up our certificate for the banner community. Stephanie has it, she brought it home,
Wonderful.
and then she'll be doing whatever we have to do with
Yeah,
that.
we usually turn it in.
Right.
Thanks, Ray.
Thank you.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Claude, we have our meeting the 4th Wednesday of the month. We're working, there's a couple action items gonna happen to approve the IMPC of the UCC Board of Appeals, so we can move on with that. No old business. Ordinary items. At this time, I'll take a motion to accept the minutes from January 23rd and February 13th.
I'll make that motion.
Motion
Second,
by Dr. Carpenter, second by Mrs. Provenza. Are there any questions? All in favor? Opposed? Passed. Thank you. Next up, I need a motion to accept the bills to pay the bills for March of 24. First by Mr. Long,
Sorry.
second by Mr. Floda. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next up, we need a motion to approve the IMPC Board of Appeals ordinance. Motion by Mr. Long,
Second.
second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions? Passed. All in favor? Opposed? Passed. Thank you. Next up, we need a motion to approve the UCC Board of Appeals ordinance. First by Mr. Long, second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions? All in favor? Say aye. Opposed? Passed. Next up, we need a motion to approve the handicap parking spot at 609 South Avenue.
I'll make that motion.
second,
Motion by Dr. Carpenter, second by Mrs. Provenza. Any questions? All in favor, say aye.
aye,
Opposed? Passed. Next up, we need a motion to approve the 2024 resident landscaping contract. First by Mr. Long,
I'll second it.
second by Mr. Jamelis. Any questions? All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Passed. Next up, this is the one that Mr. Pitts was talking about. We need a motion to approve spending no more than $20,000 on ARB storm sewer cleaning. And Mr. Pitts is suggesting that we use state pipe services.
I'll make that.
Motion by Mr. Long,
Second.
second by Mr. Floda. Any questions? Passed. Next one, I know, and I don't know if the mayor was in on this. I know that Stephanie met with Mark Springer. Did you meet with him too?
Yeah. we
Okay, you were in on it? Okay, so at this point, I'd like to have a motion to appoint Mark Springer as our emergency management coordinator.
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Dr. Carpenter, second by Mrs. Provenza. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed. Next up, we have a motion. This is what Mr. Alexander worked up and worked out, we've been talking about for a couple months. We need a motion to approve the Steel City Rowing Club MOU. Motion by Mr. Long, second by Dr. Carpenter. Any questions?
Hold
Okay, good.
on. Thought I had one. No, I don't know. I thought-
All good?
I just wanted to make sure that the maintenance wasn't gonna change, because I know that they've been maintaining it. I thought I saw. Yeah, that's my question on, item 3. It says, Steel City Rowing. Rowing shall be solely responsible for the cost to construct and maintain the launch.
Right.
But then on number 7, it says Steel City Rowing Company will provide maintenance to the public portion of the dock in the same manner as set forth in the party's original memorandum of understanding.
Correct.
So they're still gonna maintain it.
They're gonna maintain it, and you're still gonna be responsible for whatever that cost is.
Okay, just the original costs and upkeep. Because I'm just confused by number 3, because it says.
If there's a,
The borough will be
if-
solely responsible for the cost to
So,
construct and
correct.
maintain.
so if there's a cost, if Steel City Rowing incurs a cost for their maintenance, Verona is responsible for that cost.
Okay,
Verona is responsible for the cost to put in the dock too.
okay. And then when they do maintenance, we just reimburse.
Just like it is in the original agreement.
Okay, that was all the questions I have.
Yeah, actually, I have some good questions, which made me think of another one. So number 3 is talking about the new launch that's gonna be on their dock, that's gonna be ADA accessible, correct?
Correct?
So, number 7 is about the public portion of the dock as set forth in the party's original MOU, which is incorporated herein by reference. So we still have a second MOU referring to the public launch where they're going to do maintenance. So they're doing maintenance on both of them,
Correct.
is what I'm getting.
Sure.
Okay, just wanted to be clear.
Any other questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Passed.
Before we move on,
Okay,
your motion to approve spending no more than $20,000 on ARB sewer cleaning. Who made that motion? I did. And who seconded that?
I believe Dr. Crowe.
No,
No.
Vince,
Vince.
you're talking about E, right? Yeah, Tim and Vince.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I messed up on that one.
Next up is our announcements. Newsletter, Mrs. Provenza.
Thank you again, Mr. President. We are currently working on the summer edition of the newsletter. And that's going to cover June, July, and August. And the ads and the articles are going to be due Wednesday, May the 1st. For articles, our editor, Dawn Ward, can be reached at veronanewsroom@gmail.com or at 412-822-3607. And for ads, I can be reached at 412-828-7726. Chamber of Commerce, our next meeting will be on Tuesday, April the 16th, 7 o'clock here in the Borough Building. And despite the rain threats, the Easter egg hunt was a very nice success. And a big thanks to all the people that attended. And Chamber of Commerce is still taking applications for board members and also for new members. Queenborough Ministries next community dinner will be held on Wednesday, April 24th, at the Methodist Church from 4:30 to 6:30. And meals will be prepared by St. Thomas Episcopalian Church in Oakmont, and it will be hosted by the Verona Methodist Church. Historical Society, next meeting will be held on Thursday, April the 18th, here in the Borough Building at 7 p.m. The speaker is going to be Anna Mataris, and she is from Heinz History Center here in Pittsburgh. And her talk is entitled Women and Sports in Western Pennsylvania. So all are welcome, and do bring a friend. And that is all my reports. If there are any questions or any comments, I will be glad to take them. Hearing none, just say thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Provenza.
Yes, sir, you're welcome.
Next announcement, there's a VOP public meeting, like Trish said earlier, Thursday, April 11th at 6 p.m. at the Borough Municipal Building. At this time, we'll take comments from the public. Please approach the podium, state your name, or raise your virtual hand. I don't see no hands and
Yeah,
nobody.
Carrie.
So, I have some exciting news. Last chamber meeting, we talked about the farmer's market. So 4 of the, what's really cool is Verona has 4 places that brick and mortar restaurants. Each one features very different things. Off the Rails, of course, is barbecue, Villagin's Italian cuisine, Acclamation has artisan pizza and snacks. And the Hula Bar offers traditional American tavern food. So 4 of the restaurants getting together, we're offering coupons to anybody who visit the farmer's market starting May 23rd. If you present a receipt from farmer's market and you can visit each restaurant, you will get certain coupons. So it will be all on one page, we'll pass it out. And you also will be entered into a drawing that we will do the day of the Jolly Jamboree. And each restaurant will give out a $25 gift certificate, so somebody can potentially win a $100 gift certificate just visiting Verona, restaurants in Verona. So we're very excited, all four of us restaurants are very excited about that, and we just wanted to let the council know that's what we're doing.
Very nice, thank you.
Sure, are you saying the first farmer's market is on May 23rd?
Yes, Stephanie told me it's on May 23rd. Usually the farmers market, because the farmers market is separate, but also part of the chamber, and the first time we always get a ton of people. So we will modify this coupon once a month, all the way till the Thursday before Thanksgiving is the last day of farmers market. So we're hoping this will help the restaurant and the farmers market.
Yeah, the farms have asked to start a couple weeks early, because
Yeah.
they were able, since the weather was nice, they had earlier.
Okay, I was
Just to
just,
be able to bring their stuff.
right, just curious, because usually it's the first Thursday in
Yeah.
June.
Yeah, no, just May 23rd. I double checked with Stephanie and then contacted all the restaurants and
Yeah,
so
that's
we're
why.
doing this as a joint
Okay.
effort.
Well, that's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good idea.
We get it done.
Oh, then we're hoping we're gonna write an article, a newsletter, we'll post it and things.
Absolutely. Give us a call.
Yes.
Very good, thank you, Sharon. Anybody else? I see no hands, no virtual hands. This time I'll take a motion.
I'll make
Motion by Mr. Long, second by Mrs. Provenza. Any
You
questions?
beat me, Mr. Wendell.
All in
He
favor?
beat you tonight, right? Let's-
Yeah, so thank everybody for coming to the meeting.
Gotta wait till Ray said the motion.
Yeah, he jumped the gun. Yeah, I recognize. Next meeting, you see me to say Sylvia makes a motion.
That's right.